Hi, my name's Steve Martile, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to open the satellite Wi-Fi connection to your soul. And this isn't something I've talked about in the last, I guess, 11 years or 12 years that I've been on YouTube. And so this is going to be a new topic, and I've been wanting to talk about this for about a year, but I haven't, it wasn't the right time. Now it is. So one of the things that, there's two things that will help you connect to the satellite Wi-Fi connection to your soul. And one is having an open heart, and the other is having a clear or clean pineal gland. Okay, you got to do both. And let's talk about the pineal gland first. So if you're not aware, in your brain there is a gland, and this gland has a rhombozoid, I think they're crystals. They are crystals, I just can't remember the shape of the crystals. And these crystals are very small. Inside the pineal gland are piezoelectric. Okay, so I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, so this is going to be like, this was very obvious to me when I read and researched about this. And then it explained a lot of things that happened to me over the last 4 years. So about 4 years ago, my wife and I started to change two things. One is we stopped using regular toothpaste that has fluoride in it, and number two is we stopped drinking the municipal water. And I'll explain how that relates back to this pineal gland in a minute. So this pineal gland has a piezoelectric sensor in it, okay? And this piezoelectric sensor, what that means is it converts mechanical pressure into electrical signals, or EMF, okay? So magnetic fields, okay? And the way that it works is that, I don't want to go into a deep description of this, but generally the way it works is that when you're doing meditation and you're doing deep breathing, the spinal fluid, there's a fluid in your spine. When you're breathing deep breaths, your lungs, right, are opening and closing, and the spine is pushing at the same time. It's like a pump. So the breathing in your abdomen acts as a pump. And what happens is it creates pressure in the spinal fluid. There's a fluid that it goes up your spine into the brain, okay, and then it comes back down, and then it goes up the spine. It's just a circular loop. But when you're breathing, you're pressurizing that fluid, which is pressurizing the pineal gland, the space in the, there's a little crevice that goes into the pineal gland, an entry for this spinal fluid, and then it circulates out. Now, when you're doing deep breathing, what happens is the spinal fluid will increase in its circuit, right? It's going through this circuit. I think it takes a day or something. It's really slow. The fluid moves really slow to do one cycle through your entire body. But when you're breathing, that accelerates because it's speeding up. And what happens is this breathing also creates pressure, because not only are you increasing the velocity of the spinal fluid, but you're also increasing the pressure that it's creating on the pineal gland. Now, when that pressure is applied to these piezoelectric sensors, which are these tiny crystals in the pineal gland, it converts that mechanical pressure into EMF, into electrical signals, into magnetic fields. However, if there is fluoride coating those crystals on the surface, and you can look up Google pictures of this online, where you'll see these crystals have fluid on them. It's like a coating over time, because a lot of people are drinking city water, municipal water, and are using regular toothpaste, which has fluoride in it. Now, my wife's a dental hygienist, so she stopped using, like I said, 3 or 4 years ago, we stopped doing this. It was intuitive. I didn't know why. But I noticed that I was getting a lot better downloads when we stopped drinking the water and we stopped using regular toothpaste. You can buy toothpaste without fluoride in it. Okay, it's more of a natural toothpaste, so I highly recommend you do it, because once you do, you're not coating that fluoride on those crystals, preventing, this little coating layer prevents that EMF signal to transmit from your pineal gland. And more importantly, not only does it prevent the transmission of the EMF, it prevents the receiving of the EMF. In other words, if you want to get better downloads and more insight and become more intuitive, this alone can very well help in your practice, is to eliminate fluoride from your diet. Now, I'm not going to go on a big theory on this of why municipal water and toothpaste are doing it, but I've got some ideas of why people, these businesses and these big governments are putting the fluoride, because it dumbs people down. Okay, and I'll just say that. But what I'm saying is, if you want to become more connected to universal intelligence, the satellite Wi-Fi connection to your soul, you got to be able to send and receive signals. And one of the best ways to do that is, don't change your practice, don't change what you do. You can still meditate, yoga, whatever it is you do to connect. All you got to do is eliminate fluoride from your diet. And if you eliminate the fluoride, what will happen is those crystals, that coating, will eventually start to clear up. And eventually your system will automatically eliminate it through your body as waste. But if you keep coating it, then you're preventing the receiving and the transmission of those signals from this pineal gland, which is a crystal. Okay? So I hope that starts to make a bit of sense for you. This fluoride, and again, this is just a theory, I have no idea, is being added to toothpaste and to the municipal water so that it dumbs people down. Okay? I don't know if that's true. I'm just making a statement. You can judge for yourself. Okay? Now that you know that, though, stop consuming fluoride, because it will help you connect. Okay? If you want to go deep into your meditations and get like amazing visuals and downloads, so that, you know what I mean by download, is information that helps you move forward in your life. And this is one of the best ways to do it, is just eliminate fluoride from your life. Okay? So that's number one. Number two is, you got to have an open heart. Now, this again is really hard to do in our society because of movies, right? Movies, TV shows, video games, and online media, which encourages separation. I just read this the other day. The IRS, which is the tax collection agency for the United States Corporation of America Corporation, was founded in 18-something. I don't remember the exact date, but the year that it was created, it was used to fund a war. Now, why do I bring that up? Because the IRS existed to fund a war. And what does a war do? It creates separation. But what does movies, games, and online media do? Now, I'm a big fan of The Secret. I'm a big fan of Wayne Dyer. There's some amazing movies out there. But I'm talking about mass-produced, mass media, billion-dollar, box office revenues. Some companies, big companies, the movies, the TV, and the games, and the online media encourage separation. You might even notice that some of the channels or TV outlets or online media that you consume, that you used to consume last year, you don't consume anymore. It doesn't connect with you like it used to. And if that's the case, then recognize that it's your divine guidance moving you and evolving you. Because there's certain channels that I'm like, I'm not subscribing to that anymore. I'm not going to listen to that anymore. Because these types of movies, games, a lot of games, right? Violent games, it's encouraging separation. There's a bad guy and a good guy. And that separation is what creates energy blockages in the heart. And if you've got energy trapped in the heart, then guess what? It's like a valve that's closed. It's like a heart valve that's closed. It's trapped with energy, right? And if the energy's trapped there, then no other energy can pass through. It's blocked. So if you have fluoride on the pineal gland, those crystals on the pineal gland, and you can't transmit and send signals, right, and receive signals, and then your heart is also trapped with energy, then how are you ever going to connect to the satellite Wi-Fi connection to your soul? You can't. And so what I'm saying is that, again, just my theory, you can take for what I'm saying to be truth, discern for yourself and do your own research. that media, online media, games, and movies, all these big conglomerates, they're trying to create separation. They want you to not have an open heart, because you have an open heart and a clear pineal gland, you are connected. And once you're connected, you're going to make different choices. You're going to see the truth for what it really is. Okay? So 2 things you can do. One is stop consuming fluoride. Okay? Find alternates for toothpaste, and don't drink municipal water. Get bottled water. Okay? If you can, without fluoride in it. Number 2, stop consuming movies, games, and online media that encourage separation, that block up the heart. Look for things that inspire you. And there's plenty of them, right? But they're just not controlled by these big companies. They're probably controlled by individuals like me, smaller entrepreneurs, people who that are, let's just say, for the betterment of humanity. We're not trying to dumb people down. We want to wake people up. And if you can do those 2 things, then when you go into a meditation, even or a yoga class, or you go into nature, you're going to feel that more connected. Okay? I hope you found that useful. I hope that serves you. It's, like I said, this isn't like a traditional video I've done, but these are some of the things I've learned, is that when my wife and I stopped doing this and stopped doing this, actually, we actually had we'll call it, I guess it was a TV cable subscription in 2006 when we got married, and we canceled it. So we haven't had normal media, like TV media, for 15 years. Now, we do have phones, so we got to be aware of that, right? There's a lot of crap on there that disconnects us from this satellite Wi-Fi connection to your soul. So you can practice all sorts of things, but if you've got this fluoride, like capped and this coating, preventing that signal from transmitting, it's just physics, right? Your body is a machine to help you project and to help you receive information. But if it's in some way damaged, then it doesn't function at its optimal level. And that's what I'm saying. If you want to function at your optimal level, stop consuming fluoride and stop consuming so much. It's not something you have to do. It's something you have to stop doing and honor yourself. Okay? And if you do want to grow, you do want to learn, then these are some things you can do very easily. And start filling your mind with more positive images, perceptions, and information. And if you do that regularly, then things will change. I promise you, okay? Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, then I'd love for you to subscribe if you found this information or this video useful or insightful. And please give me a like. If you like this, just give me a quick like and let me know. If you are not on my waiting list for my book, I have a new book coming out called The 7-Day Manifestation Experiment, How You Control Your World. If you'd like to get on the waiting list for that and get some of my quantum manifestation training videos, you get 1 a week. There's a link down below in the YouTube comment section or in the description section that basically links out to my waiting list. You can enter your email and name there. Get on the waiting list, okay? Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. And just thanks for being you. Awesome. Have an amazing rest of your week. We'll talk to you next time.